Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Spurs are in the Europa League final. Get in there. Come on. Look, this is going to be a bit of a dump, bit of a raw, instant reaction. I've just got home from the pub watching the game at the Beehive with loads of other Spurs fans. Incredible atmosphere in there. Imagine just being in Bodo. That's what I was just thinking. Imagine those fans, those 404 fans, I think it was, that went out there to the Arctic Circle in those conditions and saw Spurs do the job they needed to do. Unbelievable. Brilliant. We're there. We said it at the start of the season. The objective is to get to that Europa League final and win it. Get the monkey off our back with the silverware. Go and win that trophy because it was winnable. It is there for us, and we're 90 minutes away. We're one game away. We've had to battle some hardship with the injuries and everything that we've had throughout this season, and it's been a mess. It has been a mess, right? But we can kind of just forget about that all now, and we've got, what's the date today? The 9th of May. The final's on the 21st, I think it is. We've got 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks to just prepare for it, drink it in, celebrate it, enjoy it, and then go and win it. Amazing. Like the video if you are new. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video if you think Spurs are going to win the Europa League as well, because, come on, we're going to do it. Brilliant performance tonight. We're going, like I said, we're going to do a proper video tomorrow. We kind of break it down. This is kind of just instant thoughts. I want to talk about, I don't even know what I want to talk about, really. I don't even know. It's just, obviously, I said before the game, it was going to be difficult. You know, plastic pitch, their home record, the conditions there that they're used to. Advantage is there for them. And obviously Spurs had a 2-1 lead. But when you think about what we did in the Frankfurt game, how we managed that, what we learned from that, what we took into this game as well, I don't know, we should have been confident. And always as Spurs fans, we're kind of going to be a bit worried, right? We're always going to be a little bit concerned because, we've got a history of these things not going our way and, making it more complicated than it needs to be. But we just got in there and we got the job done and we're there. Let me know in the comments how you get into Bilbao as well, by the way. I've sorted my stuff. I'm going to talk about it in probably like a TikTok video. I think I'm going to break down what we're doing because it's planes, trains and automobiles, to be honest, on the way back. Not necessarily the way there. We're going to fly to Porto and then fly to Bilbao from there on the Tuesday evening. I have just seen something that apparently Spurs, the trust, put out something about looking at exploring chartered flights, I think. So, obviously get on stuff as soon as possible. The deadline to apply for your ticket is tomorrow at 10 a.m. and you're going to want to be there because Spurs have got a chance to, make good of what's been a tough old season. And I know I've wavered on Ange and, now's not the time to have the conversation about the long term and whether he's the guy or not, but he has been the guy in the Europa League knockouts. He has for us. And people are going to talk about the level of opposition and all that kind of stuff. The tests have been big. Frankfurt away after that home leg, I think we were all nervous. We didn't necessarily expect Spurs to go and perform in a European quarterfinal away from home like we did. And again, tonight, Bodo, we were a bit worried with their home record and all those kind of things. But he went with the same team that we saw in the first leg, and they did the business. Again, more in-depth kind of analysis on some of the players tomorrow, but just off the bat, Romero, superb across both legs. The header to knock it down for Solanke to tap it in. He did well, stretched it and got it in. The amount of big goals that Solanke has scored for us this season, look, we might not have seen the goal return for a £60 million striker, but what we have seen is constant hard work, constant selflessness, and he's popped up with big goals in big games. A penalty in Frankfurt to settle the nerves, calm us down, get us in the lead. We needed to obviously go and win that game, and we did that there. Penalty to make it 3-0 against Bodo Glimt. Goal tonight. Scored in all 3 of our last knockout games in the Europa League. Was excellent in that second leg against AZ Alkmaar as well. Just fantastic. Basuma and Bentancur, the discipline I thought they showed in midfield. Yes, we were a little bit sloppy at times generally, but I thought the way them two held it together, I thought the defensive performance was really good. Really good. Just generally, and I'm just so happy and so proud of that team for what they did, and they've brought us this joy and happiness, and we're not there yet, we've not done the job yet, we've not won that trophy yet, and obviously Man United is going to be, both teams, Bilbao United, were going to be tough tests, obviously. The anxiety of playing another English team in the final, but we've beaten them 3 times this season, and they have grown a little bit under Amorim. Obviously impressive result against Bilbao over 2 legs, but we can do it. Of course we can do it. It's a level playing field. Both teams have had poor seasons, but both teams have showed up in the Europa League, and we've got that advantage of knowing that we know how to get the best out of them. We're going to miss or get the best against them with the wins that we've had, and Obviously, we're going to be missing key players in that final, but we can think about that when the time comes. And what we can do now is just drink in what was a really special night for Spurs. And people are going to say, oh, it was only Bodo Glimt and all that kind of stuff. But people were desperate for us to lose that. Like, people were absolutely desperate for us to lose that because it plays into this Spursy narrative, this bottler narrative, right? We can't do right for doing wrong. We beat a team that we should beat, and then no one gives us the praise for a performance that we put in. We go out to a team that we should be beating. Obviously, we just get ridiculed. And like Ange said in his pre-match press conference the other day, the goalposts get moved when it's Tottenham. They 100% do. And despite the fact that Ange tactically and in terms of squad management, all that kind of things, at times you can question these things 100%. And I have done that, especially in this second half of the season. One thing you can never question is his desire and commitment to come out and bat for this football club and stick up for us and stick up for this fan base and all the shit that we get in the media. It's boring, it's draining, and we've got a manager that wants to come out and bat for us. And I'm sure you guys have seen it. The speech that he did in the dressing room after the game spoke about how proud he was of the team and all the hardship that we've been through, and the players that weren't here tonight, and the fans that weren't in Bodo, the fans that have, stuck, I say, obviously, people are going to say, like, oh, but you haven't stuck by the manager this whole time, you've kind of wavered, and you haven't stuck by these players. Football fans are going to do that, right? Football fans are emotional, and they're kind of led by their emotions a lot of the time. That's why a lot of people tonight are going to be going, we love Ange and all this kind of stuff, even if they were doubting him, because he has delivered us something. We are so close to being able to do that, right? And you can still have those doubts about him as a manager, but still really appreciate what he's done. Those things can exist, right? You can criticise, but also praise when that praise is due, and that praise is 100% due for what he has done in these Europa League games, in these knockout stages when things have got tough, regardless of the level of the quality of the opposition. Yes, we might not be playing in the Champions League, but you got to beat what's in front of you, and there are tough tests, and there are banana skins in this European competition. And the way that he has navigated that and changed things and changed the approach a little bit, especially against Frankfurt and away in Bodo tonight, the sensibility that Spurs play with, the calm under pressure, and they're clearly batting for him. As much as Ange's kind of coming out and batting for the club and batting for the fans and sticking up for us, the players are showing him that as well. And they might not have been showing it in the league games, and that is where my frustration has boiled over at times, because we are still fans that are, paying a good amount of money to go and see this football club week in, week out, and you feel like you're being let down by the performances, and you feel like you can manage these two competitions alongside each other better. But if we win the Europa League, all of that stuff is in the past, and we can just move on and move forward from it and take that momentum, because we deserve this as a fan base. We've had so many kind of near opportunities, right? We've been here so many times before where, we've got so close to winning something that we probably deserve to win. You think under the Pochettino times, what a brilliant side we were, but we didn't do it. And, we've got a chance here to do it, to win a Europa League. That is a significant achievement for Tottenham. It's potentially a game-changing situation for us going into the summer, being back in the Champions League. But I don't care about that right now. I care about getting my hands on that trophy. But what I do care about right now is the fight and the gut these players have shown in this Europa League knockout stage to get us to this point, and the spirit that has been embodied by the manager for them to be able to do that. And he deserves the credit for that 100%, whatever you think of him. And like I said, I will happily hold my hands up and admit that I have said that I don't think he's the guy to take us into next season. And I still think that is true, but I don't care about that right now. I care about how he's got us here, and he deserves the credit for that. And look, I might be waffling on a little bit, right? But who cares? Like, this is the time to just almost let it all out a little bit and just be so happy. And like I said, the job's not done, but they can be proud of what they did over these two legs against Bodo Glimt. The connection is there now. It's back. Obviously, the results in these league games don't matter, but as Ange said, it's about preparing ourselves best and putting our best foot forward against Man United in Bilbao in less than 2 weeks' time. The atmosphere at that game on Sunday against Crystal Palace, let's get behind the team and show them that appreciation for what they've done to get us to this final. Villa away next Friday as well is the last game, obviously, before the final. And then those couple of days in Bilbao, however you're doing it, it's going to be brilliant. I remember the Champions League final. I was out there in Madrid, obviously went to the game, and obviously we were in a much better state then, despite kind of being on the decline under Poch. But the connection that we felt, and the connection I think that we felt, I was in Frankfurt this year, this year, like a few weeks ago, and the small things that the kind of club have done in terms of the fan engagement to really get the fans kind of back on side and get them supporting this team through this run, because we can make a success of this season. They realise that there's an opportunity here. Even tonight, the little small things like the scarves being given out for the fans and all that kind of stuff, something does feel like it's changing a little bit behind the scenes. And I think that's something that a lot of Spurs fans have acknowledged. New CEO in Vinay Venkatesham coming in the summer. Obviously hasn't started yet, but it feels like his kind of impact already is starting to rub off on the club and the things that they should be doing, and the atmosphere and everything in that first leg against Bodo Glimt and the connection that we felt to those players. And we can put aside the shit that we've been through this season. We know that it's not been good enough, but there is an opportunity for Spurs here to put all of the wrongs right. Not put them all right, and some people might say it's papering over the cracks. We'll deal with that when the time comes, but we still should be able to be really happy about what we have achieved in getting to a final. It's a huge opportunity. Some more of the players, again, I thought Destiny Udogie, fantastic, and I think he's hitting form at just the right time. Again, a player that kind of a lot of people just sort of wrote off a little bit way too soon. Porro, again, a little bit lucky with the goal, obviously, but again, he's just a guy that has, shown up for us in these Europa League knockout stages. Romero, Van der Ven, Basuma Bentancur. I think Kulusevski is struggling. I think he is, and hopefully we can get him in a fitter state to tackle this final going forward, because he is going to be key with the absence of Maddison and Bergvall especially. But I'm so proud of this team. I'm so proud of these players. I'm so proud of this manager for navigating us through this. And I'm just really, really happy right now. And I think a lot of other Spurs fans are as well. The joy in the Beehive that we kind of all experienced tonight, wherever you were watching it, whether you're in England, whether you're in America, Australia, Asia, wherever you're watching this video, like, I massively appreciate you for that, and I appreciate how you guys have kind of supported me throughout this season and what can turn out to be a really, really lovely, successful one if we get there and get our hands on that trophy. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of content before the final in terms of how we tackle it coming up. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Like I said, there's going to be more of a in-depth breakdown tomorrow. I just kind of wanted to get all my thoughts out because I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like, I can't wait to get to Bilbao. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to be in and amongst it with all you lot. Like, it's just going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely brilliant, and hopefully we can get our hand on that trophy. Yeah, I'm so intrigued to see what you guys think. Another thing with Ange as well, like the way that they were talking about, I think they brought up in the press conference about Man United and what they said how it's not going to save their season and all this kind of stuff. And Ange's like, who cares what United think? Who cares? Who cares right now? Who cares what any other fan base thinks about us and the run that we've had to the final or whatever? Enjoy it, soak it up, soak it in. You know, the spring in your step that you're going to have in the next couple of weeks going to work and all this kind of stuff, that thought of that final is just there in your mind. I remember those couple of weeks or 3 weeks, I think we had to prepare for the Champions League final before we went. And it was like, it's just there in your head all day and you can't shake it and you're counting down the days. And it's going to be a special occasion for Spurs. And I really, really obviously hope we can rise to it. But that is for the future. What is now is us being able to, just soak in what we've done to get to this point. Really, really happy with it. Really, really happy. Really, really, really happy. Yeah, superb. That's probably enough waffling from me, to be honest. I hope you guys are buzzing. Obviously, whatever you're doing. I mean, by the time I'm recording this video, I've literally just got back in from the pub. It's midnight. Midnight. Wherever you guys are watching it, go and have a beer. Go and do whatever. And we'll chat tomorrow or chat later today. Break down the game a little bit more. Superb. Drinking all the content as well from me, from everybody from Tottenham, all the kind of stuff. I'm sure there's going to be some really good stuff out there over the next few days. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to get my head down and I'm going to see you tomorrow where we're going to break down the game and then we're going to think about what we can talk about in the run-up to that final. Up the Spurs. Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Arsenal watching them down. Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Tottenham's going to do it again. They can't stop us. The boys from Tottenham. The boys from White Hart Lane. Come on.